worked with a company who hadn't done a price increase in about 3 years. They were a market leader and they were ignoring the pricing lever for profitability. So we worked with them to help figure out both how to go do a price increase, but then also how to start to condition their customers to expect that increase. If you're planning to do a price increase, start to get that communication out informally to your customer base early. Instead of waiting for a letter to be sent to everybody and they get in their statement and they go, oh, company XYZ, these bums are raising our prices again. You should get that out and start to have informal discussions to say, hey, I want you to know, on a telephone call, over a beer, wherever with your key customers, that our costs are starting to be affected and that we're looking at a cost initiative. The more you can do to make sure that your customers aren't surprised with a price increase, the better you are. In fact, a lot of times what we try to work on with businesses is getting into a cadence with a pricing increase so that your customers can come to expect an increase every year or every 6 months or whenever the period fits for your business. And the conversation shifts from, are we gonna have a price increase, to what is the price increase?
One thing we try to do is create supporting documentation, supporting material. So, for example, we create something called a sales script, which could be oriented towards salespeople. It could be oriented towards customer service, someone on the phone. That basically, when a customer either has a complaint or they ask a question about why you're raising prices, you've got sort of the company line. And we tell people, look, it's not that you're supposed to read the script because you sound phony. Use your own words. Right? But here's the company sort of position of why we're doing this. Use your own words, but it should give you some confidence that when the customer asks, I know what I'm going to say, right? We'll also sometimes come up with a list of frequently asked questions. The top 10 questions customers may ask or objections they may raise around this price increase, and a suggested answer, right? Again, not that you should read from it or memorize it, but if you get familiar with it as a salesperson or someone on the phone, you'll be more confident that when somebody asks me or they raise an objection, I kind of know what I'm going to say. And you just feel better about the whole, uncertainty is everybody's sort of enemy here, right? We want to reduce the uncertainty of what I'm going to say, how I'm going to handle that situation. Another thing we do is we'll get the folks in the room. We'll get all the salespeople in the room sometimes and we'll do some role play.
The fact is, if you haven't done a price increase in a number of years, you haven't had that difficult conversation, then it can be hard to do. So we got them in the room, and we said, all right, I'm the purchasing manager, you're the sales rep, tell me why I'm getting an increase. And they practiced it. And the first time a sales rep did it, they did awful. It was really hard to do. And we would do awful too.
And then we debrief, we talk about what they did right, what they did well, what we could have done differently, and then we'll send 2 other people. And we'll do it again, and we'll send 2 other people. By the 3rd iteration, you'd be amazed how better that conversation goes. And the folks in the room are picking up on how they would handle it.
After practicing it, they got very good at it. And what happened was they went into the marketplace and they were confident that they could go and deliver the increase.
If you go out with a price increase and you tell the whole world you're going out with a price increase, then go out with a price increase. But I think the biggest mistake people get, they get cold feet. And they get some customer pushback, which you will always get, and you have to anticipate it. And when you start getting the customer pushback and the first customer threatens to leave and take business elsewhere, and you cave, and you rescind the price increases. It's like raising children. All you've done is taught them that when they go to one parent and they get an answer they don't like, they can go to the other parent and you've taught the customer to not take your price increase, to tell you to get lost, and it'll go away. It's a bad behavior to teach someone. The better behavior is, I know you don't like it, but this is what we're doing, in a very customer, polite, friendly, respectful way, but that's what you're telling them. And stick to it. And yes, is there some risk you'll lose some business? Always. I think the bigger risk is not doing it and backing off, and the amount of profit you lose by not raising prices, and the fact that the next time you raise prices, you make it that much more difficult to be successful.